books before we get a chance to do the second half of this. I want to make sure your group gets the same dice back on Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, they're two different shades, and there's a reason for that.
So we can determine between them?
No, because they're not the same. Normal dice, the distribution looks like this. This is a normal fair pair of dice.
Whoa.
So if you got 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and so forth and so on. This is the distribution for a normal, fair casino pair of dice. We just played with those in 105 today. They learned how craps bleed you slowly when you play craps, which is fantastic.
So that's on average.
Now, what the problem was I didn't want to use fair dice for this exercise, and you'll see why as we go through the next 2 days together. So, a pair of fair dice has an average of 7, and has a standard deviation about 2.42. You've already calculated this weeks ago in this class. So what I did was, I said, let's make some funny dice. So I went to Michael's, got the little cubes, and then I sat with Excel because I'm an uber geek, and I randomly generated values until I got interestingly goofy dice. If you look at your dice, the smallest number of pips on any face is still a 1. And the largest number of pips on any face is still a 6. That does not mean that you have a die with a 6 on it, nor does it mean you have a die with a 1 on it. But you can't have any fewer than 1, and you can't have any more than 6 on a face. Fair enough? Some of you might, as you're looking at it, you're like, wait a minute, there's like 2 or 3 6s. That's okay. That's fair. They're goofy dice. What I want you guys to figure out is this for your dice. I want you to do this for the dice you have in front of you. Remember how we did this in class? You can say, no, it's been 2 weeks. No. So we actually sat there and turned the dice and counted up all the possible ways to get each sum. How many outcomes are there on your dice in total? Don't forget this number.
6.
If both dice rolled at once, each die has 6. So in total, it's 36. There are 36 outcomes for your dice too, but they're not shaped like this. For example, there isn't one way to get snake eyes on your dice, necessarily. There might be more than one way. There might be fewer than one way. Because snake eyes is a 1 and a 1, correct? If your die doesn't have a 1 on one and a 1 on the other, then you can't get snake eyes, can you?
Or if you have 2.
Or if you have 2 1s on this one and 1 on the other, you're going to have more possibilities for snake eyes, aren't you? Make sense? Yeah. So your job is to do this for the dice you have in your hands right there. You can actually, if you want, just start by making a blank 2 through 12 on the bottom, and start building it that way. Once you have this, you can calculate this. You can calculate your outcomes once you have that. So take some time. And when I say time, this might take you a good long time. You have 36 possible outcomes. Start counting. Yeah, start counting them.